This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and MNow Biscuits.
Government call to exclude banks in resolving Puma issue. Independent Consumer and Competition Commission clarifies its role. And 8th PNG Games deferred.
A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malcolm Wyra. Thank you for joining us. The president of the Farmers and Settlers Association has further called on the government not to involve the banking institutions into resolving the issues with Puma Energy, stating that this will have a ripple effect on the country's economy.
Concerns were again raised following the Prime Minister's call to the financial institution, BSP, to continue to hold Puma's account for 1 year. President of Farmers and Settlers Association, Wilson Thompson, have indicated that the involvement of BSP to resolve the issue of Puma Energy will stain the credibility of the country's nationally owned bank from the broader perspective.
It's not only the fuel that we put in this country. Now we've got our own financial institution, the Bank of PNG and BSP. We have bring them into this issue that's going to have an impact on their credibility and their integrity to do transactions outside of the country and inside the country. So from the fuel issue, we are now getting into putting our own financial institution into disrepute. So that's the second problem that we've created out of this full tune. So my thinking would be that instead of getting our financial institutions into this problem that will have more further impact on the country. So this time around, we've got problems with foreign currency. So our people that are using the BSP to transfer money in or out would have problems again now because of what's happening, by allowing Puma to have 1 more year of accounts in the country.
The president stated that this will have a ripple effect to the economy.
Getting onto this fuel issues, it's compounding the problem. We're trying to solve fuel issue, and now we're creating problem for our own financial sector again. So in the end, we might have fuel plus financial with the financial system, then we are affecting the whole country double times again, because we might have difficulty bringing in rice or flour or whatever that we import, machinery from overseas back into the country. So it's going to compound the problem.
President Thompson further called on the government to review the agreement and have these issues with Puma sorted out once and for all. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
President of Farmers and Settlers Association, Wilson Thompson, has called on the government to review the agreement signed with Puma Energy to resolve the continued fuel shortage experienced in the country.
Following the fuel crisis experienced in the country, President Thompson highlighted the impact this would have towards the functioning of the economy.
As we have mentioned, the concern for the whole economy in the country is basically fuel. We need fuel for power generation, for communication towers, for transport, both to land, air, and sea, and everything. So it affects the economy. So what we would expect is that there should be quick resolution of the issues. And certain things have been done. And what we realized is they're forcing, or they're asking the Bank of South Pacific and PNG to allow the company to continue to operate with the accounts. But we believe that this may not be the solution, because it could trigger other effects, like the company's account has been stopped elsewhere outside of the country. And then some of our banks internally have also closed their account. And by asking BSP, which is one of our nationally owned banks that has also branches in the Pacific, and I think they've opened up a branch in Asia. It would have a better impact on that, and a lot of our customers that are also using BSP to transfer money in and out of the country would also be affected. So we believe that we don't want to go into how they want to address the issue of fuel, but we think that the easiest way to do is to go back and review the agreement that was signed in 1997 or 1999 that allowed Inter Oil, or now Puma, to have that what they call monopoly over the wholesale of the fuel in PNG.
Mr. Thompson further calls on the government to review the agreement it has with Puma and allow for an alternate fuel supplier to enter the market.
I think that the easiest way to do is to go back and review the agreement that was signed in 1997 or 1999 that allowed Inter Oil, or now Puma, to have that what they call monopoly over the wholesale of the fuel in PNG. Why not the government go in and review that agreement? Because that agreement is going to lapse in 2028, and that's almost 5-6 years from now. If we don't sort it now, then we will continue to have these issues. So we have to ask Puma that, look, you've got a problem with your account overseas and also in the country. That means you don't want to do business. So you might as well allow that agreement to lapse so that you can allow other companies that can supply fuel come into the country. Why are we trying to continue negotiating and pushing this agenda, knowing that this agreement will continue into 2028?
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Independent Consumer and Competition Commission have clarified their role in the economy, making emphasis that the ICCC doesn't have the powers to control prices of all products. This was revealed by the ICCC Commissioner, Paulus Ain.
ICCC Commissioner Paulus Ain have clarified that the Commission has no power to control the price of any products.
ICCC came into being with a legislation that did not have the power to price control any product. But it created under Section 32 of the ICCC Act, giving power to the ICCC to control or regulate the prices of monopolies. Telecommunications, we had that time, introduced Digicel, then it was taken over by NICTA. National Energy Authority is now replacing PNG Power that we used to regulate. We now have PNG Ports, water utilities, we had Ranu and Water PNG, now called Water PNG. We've got third-party motor vehicle insurance. These three are price-controlled items. Then we have the fuel products. So petroleum product is directly price-controlled by ICCC. The rest of the products that used to have price control has been completely deregulated. So there is no price control role played by the ICCC apart from these three products.
Commissioner Ain elaborated on the role of ICCC under Section 32 of the ICCC Act.
The reform is for us to price monitor. Monitor the prices of rice, tin fish, flour, sugar, then some stevedoring and handling services. We are allowed to monitor, and if the price trend diverges, then we are required to go back and seek clarification or explanation. So this is the role we have been playing over the years. Given our current situation, we are now undertaking, Thomas and Jack and the team are leading into a market inquiry. By law, it requires. We can't unilaterally go and declare a price and say we want to control the price of certain goods. The Act does not require us to do this.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Highlands Youth Training TVET College has issued 15 laptops to 15 students today as part of their one laptop per student policy for their online program. Director for High Turk TVET College, Michael Goro, indicated that this is the third group out of 200 students in the nation's capital.
The Highlands Youth Training College commenced their academic year on the 19th of February. So far, students who have paid their upfront school fee payment have already been issued laptops, as their lessons will mainly be conducted online in their respective courses. High-Tech TVET College staff Isaac Mana indicated that the first two groups have already received their laptops.
We've got 3 groups of students. Group A, Group B, and Group C. Group C, they received the laptop today. So we're going to distribute more laptop at the end of March. At the time our application will officially close, and you're going to see more laptops distributed on that day.
One of the students who have received a laptop today is Ruth Harrow. She stated that being enrolled in the college that provides e-learning facility is very convenient to their study.
It enhances time management skills, and it reduces a lot of cost, so that we stay at home, study online, do courses online.
Also, an electrical teacher from the ITEC TVET College highlighted that students who have laptops will discover that virtual education allows them to enjoy a more flexible schedule.
So all these things, what the ITAC will be establishing in the future, online. Before we used to go in places like Kiunga, Morobe, and then some other places like Mount Hagen, and then we used to assess them. But now this time, for the first time, the ITAC will provide online for trade testing.
A concerned parent from the Goilala district also attended the presentation today. He encourages his open member of parliament to support and give a second chance in education to the youths in the district.
Further studies at the institute. That will give them the second chance or opportunity to gain experience or the skills from the institute.
Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
The director of High-Tech TVET College, Michael Goro, emphasized on the statements made by the Minister for Information and Communication Technology on providing ICT to the rural parts of PNG. Mr. Goro said this initiative will support High-Tech College to provide online education to remote parts of the country.
The Minister for Information and Communication Technology, Timothy Matthew, stated yesterday at the opening of the new Universal Access and Services Secretariat Office that rural parts of PNG will receive ICT network coverage. Reiterating on the statement by Minister Matthew, the director for ITEC TVET College, Michael Goro, highlighted that this initiative of the government will support the college to bring online education to people in rural areas.
With that initiative of the government of bringing a network to all the remote places where they will have access to e-learning, and online and all this, I think ITEC will be one of the beneficiaries to this network system that the Minister mentioned about that.
Supporting the ITEC director, Teacher for Business Management at ITEC, Mr. Mase Manga, emphasized that traditional teaching method is a repetition of teaching and learning. Hence, providing online education will help students to have full control over their own learning.
We become repetitive. What you teach today, you'll teach it again the next time and the next time, with little changes taking place. This thing is about going online, it's straight picking up on the new changes that are taking. We're interested about the changes that are taking place and that are going to have impact on the lives of our new young generation.
Michael Goro also stated that they have received a lot of interest from many students keen to study online but have challenges in accessing internet in their areas.
The Minister and the government are supporting the telecommunication to fund the rural sector to have the network system that will really boost them, that will really help our online training as well.
Mr. Goro highlighted that the expansion of internet services will enable people living in rural areas to have access in e-services, such as e-learning. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
The New Ireland provincial government is astonished by what it describes as a stunt by the member for Kavieng and minister assisting the Prime Minister, Ian Lynn Starkey, for bypassing the District Development Authority Act and going straight to the Prime Minister to endorse what he has termed as a 13-in-1 provincial budget.
Refuting the recent media statement from the PM's office on the 28th of February, Deputy Governor Semi Misen remarked that Starkey has now become the media man for the Prime Minister, resulting in misconstrued information about New Ireland Provincial Assembly representatives being present to witness the handing over of the so-called 13-in-1 budget. Deputy Governor Misen shared that there were no Provincial Assembly reps present, only representatives from the Kavieng District Development Authority. The so-called budgets from the districts and 10 LLGs were never presented to the Provincial Executive Council before the 30th of November last year as stimulated in the DDA Act, which means their budgets were never passed on the floor of Assembly during the handing down of the provincial budget on the 20th of December 2023. Misen further questioned the legality of representatives from the KDDA submitting the budget to the Prime Minister, since the Member of Parliament has never been legally sworn in as a member of the Provincial Assembly since his return to office in 2022. He also raised concern that several sections of the DDA Act of 2014 have been breached by the Kavieng and Namatanai DDAs, where expenditure report of millions of public money have been unaccounted for. The Deputy Governor is now calling on Prime Minister James Marape to put the budget submission by the KDDA team on hold until proper consultation with the Provincial Executive Council and an audit into the expenditure of the two districts is completed. Claire Mauta, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
The Secretary for the ICT, Stephen Matanahawa, said these targeted research areas will be selected based on where the visions of both institutions align. He highlighted that the Information Communication Roadmap of 2018 and Digital Transformation Policy 2020 is aggregated into 6 pillars.
So there's 6 pillars and we have a lot to unpack out of it. As mentioned earlier, in our policy formulation and now in delivering, we are also identifying some areas that need more understanding, not only in policy formulation, but the implementation phase of each of these policies. So it's so much to cover. So what we will do is, from our end, we will provide a list of these research topics, but we want to target towards where our common synergies are in terms of vision. So what Director said, at the end of the day, it's about the economic and social and economic growth. So we need to now be smart and target which research areas we need to target as a matter of priority that will help drive the digital transformation agenda and to address this vision. So we'll have to be very smart about it with whatever limited resources.
The Secretary further highlighted the key priorities of ICT in delivering on the digital transformation agenda.
We need to understand some of the key priorities from our side department is understanding the sciences around delivering on the digital transformation agenda. So that's the governance frameworks, implementation, delivery frameworks around it. And then we need to start looking at research in the cybersecurity space. As we transform, cyber resilience will become very important. And I think there's a key word here that Director put up is like inform. How do we better inform our people? And so we're looking at those areas, and maybe it requires further understanding and research on that.
The director of NRI, Dr. Osborne Sanida, said ICT will be utilized to advance economic and social development in the country, and this will be powered by research. Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
All parents of students attending the Kiunga Secondary School in North Fly, Western Province, are advised that the new dormitories can be open for use if more funding is secured. Currently, the school board of governors and the administrations are in talks with respective education authorities and development partners on how best they can help address issues on boarding facilities. These new dormitories need furniture to be installed in the boys' dormitory and proper fencing around the dormitory area. Students of Kiunga Secondary School are advised dormitories will not be open until all necessary materials are provided. The new buildings will be open for use in Term 2 of this year if all matters are met. The Western Provincial Education Advisor, Charlie Buai, has confirmed that they are aware of this issue and work is in progress to reopen the boarding facilities. A local man from East New Britain has stressed the importance of maintaining the monument of PNG's founding father. Community leader and long-time resident of Rabaul Town, Dixon Kondoal, expressed this after he took his family to visit the site to show their respects.
With shrubs plaguing the site, he said the family did a little bit of cleaning up around the monument prior to a minute of silence and laying of wreaths during the third death anniversary commemorated recently on Monday, the 26th of February 2024. He expressed that the monument depicts the birthplace of the founding father, the great Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Sumare, at Rapindik near Matupit Island in Rabaul district, has seemed to be forgotten. Kondal said the site will soon be covered by bushes if this site, a place of significance and history, continues to be given less prominence and respect over its maintenance and upkeep by the authorities in the province. He called upon concerned authority, including the Ward Development Committee and landowners, to manage the site in its upkeep with financial commitment from the Rabaul Urban Authority through Rabaul District or ENB Tourism Authority. Tamara Agavi, National EMTV News.
BSP Financial Group Limited has announced that the bank will continue to support the Hiri Moale Festival with a 100,000 kina check presentation to the organizers of Port Moresby's premier cultural event. The Hiri Moale Festival has its roots in the traditional trade voyages that took place between the Motuan people of the Central Province and the people of Gulf Province. During the presentation, BSP Chief Executive Officer Mark Robinson said BSP has a long tradition of supporting cultural activities not only in Papua New Guinea but throughout our Pacific-wide community. The festival provides an excellent platform for people to not only share their culture and traditions but also pass them down to the next generation. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, under the EU-funded Straight PNG program, has collaborated with the government of Papua New Guinea through the National Youth Development Authority towards the establishment of the Provincial Youth Councils in the West and East Sepik provinces. This initiative aims to empower youths, particularly in rural areas, to have a platform to table youth issues, to become good leaders in their localities, and to contribute significantly to the country's sustainable development through active participation in the agriculture sector.
Under this initiative, the FAO, in partnership with the National Development Youth Authority and the Provincial Youth Coordination Desk under the Provincial Division of Community Development, hosted a series of capacity building workshops and training sessions in the West and East Sepik provinces. Through these sessions, 87 youths from the 10 districts representing cocoa, vanilla and fisheries farming groups acquired leadership skills and were educated on the structure and mandate of the National Youth Development Authority, the divisional functions of youth programs, the intricacies of the partnership between the EU-Straight PNG program and the provincial administrations, and the importance of youth involvement in decision-making and agri-food value chains. This initiative facilitates the establishment of provincial youth councils, providing a formal platform for young people to engage with stakeholders and contribute to policy discussions at provincial and national levels. This includes mobilizing fellow youths to participate in upcoming elections for their councils and advocating for support from district, provincial and national funding to pursue agribusiness careers. Following the workshops, district youth representatives are expected to engage actively in their communities by organizing awareness campaigns and facilitating the election of district youth council executives with the support of the National Youth Development Authority. These executives will then be confirmed by the National Youth Development Authority, which will oversee the establishment of the Provincial Youth Council and will support its efforts in sustainable agricultural and community development. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Delegations from the Beijing Normal University recently visited the University of Goroka to discuss the Memorandum of Understanding signed by the Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister and the Republic of China's President for an ongoing partnership and collaboration in 2024 and onwards.
The EST Minister in his statement said under this umbrella MOU, he has signed a MOU with education ministers of the respective countries to work in partnership to develop the common interest in the education sector. Minister Pole pointed out the principles that drives the partnership.
That I'm seeing both universities, the Normal University of Beijing, China, and the University of Goroka, Papua New Guinea, have discussed three main approaches to go forward from here. One is to creating the skills in our young people in Papua New Guinea so that they are ready to live in the future. And the second, the meeting is as to how do you create a network to create a global community of people that are learned, that are knowledgeable, but they are fluent in the modern way of life today. And finally, as to ensuring some of the objectives in the MOU between the two countries and the two universities are achieved. So even concrete achievement of those outcomes to create more cultural exchanges.
Minister Pole highlighted the importance of disaster management as discussed by the two universities.
Shown interest in one area, and that is disaster management, building skills of Papua New Guineans to manage volcano, flood, and other natural disasters that is caused by global warming and landslips and so forth. We are a volcano and a earthquake-prone area in this part of the world, and therefore we must train our young people to manage and mitigate through the challenges that we see quite frequent these days.
The minister revealed that from the advice from his secretary, the University of Technology will also be engaged with the Beijing Normal University. Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Now moving to overseas news, Facebook's parent company Meta has announced that it will be renewing commercial deals with Australian media companies worth millions of dollars.
Meta signed deals with Australian news outlets in 2021, including the ABC, after the federal government passed legislation forcing tech companies to pay for displaying news on their platforms. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has slammed the move, telling Channel 7 that Australian media deserve to be fairly compensated.
Journalism is really important, and journalists need to be paid for the work that they do. And some multinational company just being able to get that free ride off the back of the hard work of news organisations here in Australia is not on.
The agreements were aimed at ensuring tech giants paid for the benefit they receive from news content on their platforms. Editor-in-chief of the Saturday paper, Eric Jensen, has told ABC's Weekend Breakfast tech giants don't see enough value in news to invest in it, and it could pose a risk to how people think about the world around them.
National MTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The much anticipated 8th PNG Games has further been deferred to June of next year. This was revealed by the Minister for Sports, Don Poile.
The Minister for Sports, Don Poile, made this announcement.
That the Papua New Guinea Games that was scheduled to be played in Mendi in this year, September, has been changed. So the PNG Games will not be taking place in September as earlier decided by the Papua New Guinea Games Council. I've been advised by the Chief Executive Officer of the Papua New Guinea Sports Foundation that the Games will take place next year in June.
Minister Poile commended this decision, stating that the recent change of location from Port Moresby to Mendi Southern Highlands will need more time and resources to get the venue set.
I think it is a good decision that the games will be played in June next year. The Papua New Guinea Sports Foundation took the matter up to the government through the cabinet, and the cabinet has endorsed the recommendation that the games will be played next year, June. Therefore, there is ample time to prepare for it.
He further revealed the estimated budget needed to organize the games.
The game will cost about 270 million or so for the games to be organized up there, because before the games start, the infrastructure must be put in place, and you'll be seeing up to 5,000 plus athletes that will be participating, that will come from all parts of Papua New Guinea. And with the officials, team managers, and everybody else involved, will be over 1,000 people coming in, 10,000 people rather, 10,000 people coming in from outside of Mendi to be accommodated.
Natasha Voy, Chukai Sports.
PNG South Pacific team under 16 boys and girls will travel to Gold Coast, Australia to take part in the South Pacific tournament.
Talent Academy Manager Prudence Sindriwan said the girls team will travel on the 6th of this month.
Okay, firstly, the tour is the kids are attending the South Pacific tournament in Brisbane, Gold Coast. So the girls, under 16 girls, are leaving on Wednesday, early morning flight. They'll be going on the 6th and returning on the 11th. Following week will be the boys. They'll be traveling on the 13th, returning back on the 18th. So the kids, there'll be 7 girls traveling with me, myself. So the 7 girls will gang up with the other Pacific Island countries, which is Nauru, Vanuatu, Fiji, and Tonga. So they'll form the South Pacific team to compete with the Suns Academy team and the Lions Academy as well, as following by the boys following week.
Sindriwan said that the competition will help kids showcase their talents.
The preparation was, we're just having light runs for the kids, just some basic skills for the kids to prepare them for when we get there. There'll be some training days as well, as they will partake with the other Pacific Island countries. So it's just light runs, pool recovery, and yeah.
Jonathan Sibona, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after a break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. The Bears women B-grade team has qualified to go into the grand final after beating Gazelle 14-4 in the semi-finals today.
Bears B-grade women team captain Hermione Soweni told EMTV today that the magic behind the success was teamwork and discipline.
I believe it's just teamwork and I'm kind of give up. So regardless of us leading throughout the game, we didn't give up. We continue the fight. So we had a goal to score every inning. So every time we get on time local of it, we had to score 3 runs. So that was our goal. And I think that's what motivated us.
Soweni said that the team will work hard to prepare for the grand final.
So preparations will be training here at the Diamonds for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and preparations will be going well, hopefully.
After a long break due to COVID-19, President Ian Soweni said that the association is grateful to bring back the sport. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The Public Servants Netball competition has completed its round games today at the Rita Flynn Netball Courts and will go into playoffs next weekend.
Public Servants Match Committee representative Oluvu Palagi said 4 teams from each division will qualify for the knockouts.
Right now, this is our last round. This is our last game for round 2. So that's the end of the round games now. So next week we will move on to the knockouts. So these games are the games that are on that will the 4 teams will qualify for the knockouts, which will be next week.
She said the grand final will be on the 26th of this month and will be played at the Sir John Guy Stadium.
So we'll have only the top 4 to play. So that will be 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So the winner for 1 and 2 stand by for grand final, while the loser for 3 and 4 loses and goes. So we'll have the winner to play the loser for 1 and 2, and then the grand final, the grand finalist that is awaiting the game will be grand finalists.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The Port Moresby Soccer Association is heading into week 4 of its competition games.
Competitions coordinator Peter Matthews said that teams are performing well in the round games.
So far, teams have been performing well to expectations. One such club is Cloudy Bay FC. Currently, they are playing on ground 2 with Momase Team Red. They have improved a lot after winning last year's second division, and they have been promoted to first division this season.
He said currently there are 34 men's team and 7 women's team participating in the competition.
Exactly, this is the 3rd weekend of our pre-season tournament, so we have stopped all the registration fees. Only clubs who have shown interest to come and join our 2024 season, and the new clubs coming in to compete in our competition for this season.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru and Kerama, cloudy with few showers. Alotau, partly cloudy with brief showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with some showers possible. To the Momase region, Lay City, partly cloudy with some showers. Medang, partly cloudy with few showers possible. Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers. Vanimo, partly cloudy with few showers possible. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Kavieng, partly cloudy with few showers possible. Kokopon Rabaul, partly cloudy with some showers possible. Kimbe, cloudy with few showers. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers possible. To the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with few showers, possible thunderstorm. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, partly cloudy and few showers with possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 2nd of March 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.